In this video, I'm going to show you how to make baskets out of used baling string from small bales of hay. Now, I've been asked to make a video with these instructions, so here it is, but this is the first how-to video I've ever done, so apologies if it's a bit amateurish. Now, I'm right-handed, but I think you should be able to reverse the instructions if you're left-handed. Let me know if you do manage it. This is not a quick project. A basket might take me 3 weeks to a month, doing a couple of hours a night, but you will save about 200 bales worth of plastic string from going in the bin. So you will need baling string, lots of it. Each basket probably uses about a full feed bag of string, so you're going to need a lot more than you think you will. You'll need a plastic crochet needle. You can get these on sewing stores or you can get them online, they're really cheap. You'll need that later for stitching the basket together. Scissors, obviously. And you'll need some gloves. Now, it might take a week or so to make a ball of rope that's big enough for a basket. So I do a few meters every night while I'm watching the TV. It will be very difficult to do it all in one go. It's very, very hard on your skin. You'll also probably get cramp if you're not used to the motion of twisting. So to help with this, you can wear gloves. I've got these black ones are just washing up rubber gloves. Gives you a bit more grip and it protects your skin. And it also covers up my hands from the video so you can't see how badly I've chewed my nails. Ignore this, this is just an embroidery stand. That's all I've got to hold my phone for the video. So your string is probably going to come to you like this, and you need to prepare the string by cutting out any knots. Best if the string is cut at the knots off the bale, because then you're going to get obviously the longest possible piece to work with, but that's not always the case, and you can still use the shorter pieces. You don't need your needle yet, but while we're getting prepared, I just hold the tip of the needle over a flame for a second. I use the hob, just enough until it starts to curl up. It may catch fire a little bit, but that's okay. Just give it a shake and the flame will go out. The needle should curl into a little hook. If needs be, you can encourage it to curl gently while it's still warm. And I find a curled needle easier to stitch with. So I'd learned this technique a couple of years ago from a lady called Sally Pointer on her YouTube channel to make nettle cordage. And it's a way of making lots of separate fibres into one rope. So I made lots of this nettle string that I use for the garden. And one day I was collecting a pile of baling string for the bin, and I'd already tried to make things with it, but the pieces were too small to make anything useful with. So if I could just add them together somehow, make a longer piece, maybe I could make something better. And then suddenly I wondered if I could use the cordage technique. So how to start your rope. Depending on how thick you want the rope to be, for a thicker rope you can start with more than one strand. And you're going to find the middle of your strands, which is about there. Pull it nice and tight between your fingers and just start to twist it. Keep twisting until it starts to twist itself into a little loop. And once that starts to happen, you're going to pinch the strings with your left forefinger and thumb. This hand keeps everything still and anchored in place. The right hand holds the top piece of string between your forefinger and your thumb and roll it. It's important that you twist it in the right direction, as the friction of it trying to twist back is what holds the rope together. So your right forefinger needs to go down as your thumb rolls the string up, and twist your hand slightly so you can just see your palm. Then with your middle finger, you're going to reach back, grab the piece of string from underneath and twist your hand so the back of your hand is towards you. Move your left hand up, very lightly pinch it, grab the top piece and twist again away from you. Middle finger, So the top piece becomes the bottom piece, and then same again. Top piece becomes the bottom piece, and just keep twisting. It will become intuitive once you've gotten used to it. And can you see the rope is starting? So when you come into the end of your pieces, we need to add in a new string. I'm going to use a different coloured string so that you can see what's happening. Find the approximate middle of the piece and pinch it in with the pieces on your left hand. So just like that. So it's going to go in line with the others, and you're just going to twist as if it's always been there. So I just do a couple of twists, and then I'm going to leave the tail of the old piece sticking out. Ready, I'll tidy that up later. It does make it slightly thicker at the junction, and it can't really be avoided. The whole rope is going to vary in thickness, but as it's a recycled product and it's a bit rough and ready, I'm not going for perfect, just usable. So don't worry about these sticky out bits. They won't unravel. I'll show you in a second. Just get this nice and tight here. As they're twisted in all the way up, trying to unravel it, if I try and push it back through, it won't really undo. So you don't have to worry too much about it undoing itself. So here's one I made earlier. When I've made a few meters, I'll go along and I'll snip off all the old ends that are close to the rope. See how that neatens that up. Oh, missed one. You could possibly use a flame to melt them in, make it a bit tidier, but I'm useless at that and I end up making dark, hard, melted bits in the rope. So I just leave them like this. A basket needs a large ball of string, much bigger than this, almost the size of a football. But the benefit of this technique is if you don't have enough rope when you're making your basket, you can keep adding to your rope, which is useful as each basket tends to decide how big it needs to be as I make it. So sometimes I need more rope as I'm going along. For this to work though, this unfinished end, not the finished end that we started with, the unfinished end of the rope needs to arrive towards the end of the project, up near the handles. So you need to start your basket with the beginning of the rope, the closed end. So when you think you've made enough, you're going to tie a little knot in the end, unravel your ball and rewrap it so that the knot, the unfinished end, is in the center. So just start like that. Keep building up.